of the class recorded. So if you need to go back and get that, it's just a partial class. But I always have my other device running in the other room, so I went and grabbed that and we continued working out. So it was all good. So good morning, everyone. Welcome to LisaBug Yoga for Resilience. We're in the month of January 2026, and what a month to be working on resilience, right? Emotional resilience for sure. Today, we're going to focus a little bit on Tai Chi in honor of our friend Joyce. And just a reminder, her celebration of life is the 31st. If you have any questions or didn't receive information on that, let me know and I'll get that to you. She's also, they're live streaming that for her as well. And so we'll be doing a little Tai Chi, and also we'll be throwing in some dynamic or active stretches for the hamstrings, IT band, and hip flexors. That means stretching through range of motion while we're moving our body. And then we'll bring also some static stretches, those where we hold for a period of time for those areas of the body as well. We'll be doing a lot of standing work, needing a chair for balance, so make sure you have that as well as a yoga strap. And then come to your mat, standing with your feet about hips distance apart, and we'll do a really nice slow breath of Joyce. So the breath of joy or breath of Joyce has 3 inhales while the arms come forward on 1, out on 2, up on 3, and then we exhale into a chair pose, bringing the arms back behind us. And we'll just do it slow today. Breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, and breathe out. Now on that 3rd inhale, let's raise up on the balls of the feet and balance, and then breathe out. Inhale, 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 exhale. Now keep your chest up when you come into that chair pose. Sometimes this is done by bending all the way over, but today I want you to keep the chest lifted, the weight back into the heels on chair pose. Well, those 3 inhales are through the nose. The exhalation is through the mouth. And there's 3 different places where the breath comes in as we're doing this. So the first inhale goes low to the belly. The second one comes into the ribs. The third one up to the heart. And then use your core muscles to forcefully exhale that breath. Let's do one more just like this. And then we're going to change it just slightly. Now, if this next version bothers your low back, stay with what we're doing. Otherwise, on that exhale, we'll be folding into about a half forward fold. So we breathe in, breathe in, breathe in, and then breathe out, half forward fold. Knees are bent here. We're stretching through the hamstrings. And then we just come up again, breathe in, half forward fold. And then just start to explore that forward fold. And we're noticing, how are the hamstrings feeling today? Are they feeling pretty tight? Do we need to reduce the range of motion of that half forward fold? Or are we feeling pretty free in our hamstrings and we can come deeper into it a bit? Two more just like that. Or doing your chair pose like we did before, that's fine. One more. And then just rise up. We'll step off to the right side of your mat a little bit, tapping the left foot into our right ball position. Take 3 steps moving to your left with waving hands like clouds. So we start to switch the hands back and forth. 1 and 2. On your 3rd one, we tap the right foot into left ball position. We add a little bit of a pre-rotation here. It's called a preload before we begin those steps. Finishing in right ball, we tap the toe. So it's up to you how big your steps are as you're moving to the left side. We try to strike with the heel. We're really focusing on balance and control. Good. And preload, stepping right side 3. It's called waving hands like clouds, or sometimes shortened to cloud hands. Good. Let's do one more each direction. And we're rotating the spine right to left. The gaze follows. And then last time, moving to the right side, 3 steps. Cloud hands. Holding in our right ball, step this left foot out on a bit of a diagonal. So what I want you to do is bend this right knee, pull up the toes on the left foot. And then we're just going to bend the left knee, shifting your body weight forward, and then pulling back. Shifting forward, pulling back. So with this, we'll add part the wild horse's mane. So as we shift forward, our hands change places. We gaze into an imaginary mirror, and then this hand comes back down underneath, back to our position. Hands brush by each other, part the wild horse's mane. We're starting to warm up the shoulders a little bit here. And there's a big emphasis on warming up the knees as we shift forward and back into that little bit of a knee bend. And then also in our ankles and calves as we pull the toes up. One more time. Step back into right ball. Take 3 steps moving to the left, waving hands like clouds. Finishing into our left ball position here, we'll step out on a diagonal, strike the heel, and just start shifting your body weight forward and back. So it's just kind of a moderate stride length. It should feel pretty natural. Your back foot, you'll notice, is slightly turned out as your body's on an angle. And let's part the wild horse's mane. We look into the mirror. Then this hand comes underneath, back into our ball position. And just checking in, noticing how your body's feeling today, starting to bring your awareness to the mind-body connection. Coming to a place where you're entirely focused on your practice. Good. Let's do one more here. Then step back into left ball. I needed a couple little taps to do that. 3 steps to the right, waving hands like clouds. Good. Let's step out to that diagonal, part the wild horse's mane, and then step back in and tap the foot. So now we're adding more balance to this. So instead of just shifting our body weight forward and back, we're actually stepping and returning, striking the heel. 4, 3. Really good mindful movement. 2 more. And 1. 3 steps to the left, waving hands like clouds. Should feel a little bit more comfortable now with this progression. Tapping into left ball, Step out on that diagonal, part the wild horse's mane, then step back in. Good. So years ago, I had a Tai Chi teacher that said, when you step out and strike the heel, try not to put your body weight into that foot yet. It's almost like you're just testing the waters, or she referred to it as you're stepping out on some ice and you don't know if it's going to support your body weight yet. So you're still keeping a lot of weight back in this back foot before you know if it's safe to go. 2 more. Excellent. 1 more time here. Part the wild horse's mane. 3 steps moving to the right to wave hands like clouds. Our final time. Back into right ball. Then whenever we finish our Tai Chi practice, whatever it might be that we're working on, we step out, place the hands to the shoulders, and take your hands and just brush off anything negative, and then close your feet together to finish. Great job. So let's move into some of our lymphatic warm-up movements, and they're going to involve rotation today. So first one is dead arms. And just let your arms slap the sides of your body. Dead arms does come from Tai Chi and Qigong, so it's always included in those warm-ups. Then on Tuesday, we also took the hands up and touched the outside of the shoulder. It was a nice little change. There's just a nice little slap to the outside of your shoulder. It's almost like the lymphatic taps where we slap our body and our arms as we come down. Good. 1 more on each side. And then move right into golf swings. So we're coming up and up, rotating side to side. Whenever we involve rotation of the spine, we start to get down into those attachments into the lower back. So we're freeing up our tight lumbar muscles, as well as the QL muscles, and even into the top of the IT band, which is called the tensor fascia lata. Good. Then come down into chair pose. Bring the hands here and rotate side to side. Good. I want you to notice which one of your forearms is on top, because we'll do a few with the other arm on top. Keep that lower body really controlled, no movement there. Good. Then switch the hand that's on top and rotate, rotate. Some nice core work here. The obliques, the rectus abdominis. Okay, come into your high knee marches. Lift a knee, lift a knee. And today we'll add a rotation with this. So take the arms out at a comfortable position. When the right knee comes up, the left hand will reach across. Good. My body's saying, oh, wow, I need to balance right now. And this is a little challenging to add those high knee marches with rotation, thinking about good alignment and posture. 4 more each side. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Okay, bring yourself into a position where you've got something to hold on to, a chair or wall. Stand on your right foot, and we'll bring the left knee up and open it around. And I just want you to really warm up your hip here. And we're looking at activating different muscles around the hip, sending some heat to those muscles to really warm them for some of the work we're going to do. Keep your abs really engaged. And I want you to pause and reverse the circle. It doesn't really matter which way you go first because we'll get them both done. And think about opening your hip flexor when you push the leg back behind. Good. Little soft bend in your standing knee so you're not locking out. Great job. Now open the knee out like a tree pose and back across. And you can actually cross the midline this way, out and across. And we're working on really strengthening through the medial glute. When we tighten that up, it helps us to release tension in the hip flexor. Great job. Last one. And then bring this leg down, take it out to the front of you a little bit, swing it across the midline, send it out, swing it behind you any amount, and take it out. So I'm going forward, out, back, and out. I don't know about you, but I can come forward a lot further than I can go with the leg behind me. I'm just going to do 2 more of these, finishing with the free leg in the back position. So 1 more. And then once you bring it behind, place it to the floor, squeeze your inner thighs together, and take a side stretch out toward that leg we were working. We're just opening up our IT band, as well as the hip flexor just a little bit, that TFL muscle, tensor fascia lata. Now start to rotate your body toward that side. You could fold down a little more if you want. Just make sure that feels okay. Your QL muscle is going to get in there a little bit more with this stretch, as well as the IT band. Good. Open back out and come up. Great job. I'm going to move my chair to the other side so I can still face forward as we do this flow on the other leg. So we're going to bring the knee up and open it around. Good. Just notice your range of motion here. Make it pretty slow and controlled. Try to find all edges of the circle, whatever that circle is for you. Find that full circumference. I really feel the other side now that I'm standing on that leg. It felt the work. Okay, let's reverse it back and around. And we're trying to keep everything else really stable. So I could make this circle bigger if I kind of got the rest of my body into it, but not doing that, just moving through the acetabulum, the hip socket itself, finding a nice smooth circle. I would not have been able to do this pain-free before the hip replacements. I would feel a catching, almost a sharp pain. Okay, relax it there. Take the leg in front. We're going to go across, out, behind, out. I'm thinking flexing the foot works a little bit better with this one when I bring the leg back. Otherwise, I drag my foot along the floor. This is hip abduction going away, adduction going back in toward the body. Let's do 1 more, finishing in the behind position with that leg. And then place it down. Squeeze your inner thighs tight together. Side stretch and try to press this part of your hip out a little bit. Good. Still squeezing the glutes slightly, the inner thighs. Not really hard, but just enough to activate those muscles. And then start to rotate your body toward the chair, and you can walk your hands down a little more. You might be feeling that in the posterior obliques, in your lumbar spine, in your QL. It's also another way to stretch through the IT band with this upper body rotation. Let's open back out into the side bend and come up. Great. I'm going to bring my chair back to this side. So I want you to have the seat of the chair where you can face it this direction. Remember when we did part the wild horse's mane, we had one foot stepping forward and we bent the knee and then we shifted back. So what I want you to do is be close enough to your chair, do maybe 3 of these, and then start to bring your hands down to the chair so when you shift back, you have more of a stretch through your hamstring. If you're pretty tight, you can use the back edge of your chair to place your hands. And just 2 more, then we'll hold that hamstring stretch. Each one as we're moving is dynamic, and then we hold, static stretch. Check this part of your spine, make sure it's as neutral as you can get it so we're not hunched over. The spine is really lengthened. Good, then shift back into that front foot, pick up your back leg. We're kind of in a warrior 3 here, and we're going to lift that back leg up, tightening the butt, and slightly lower it so we're actively stretching the hip flexor. You can also do this with a bent knee, so I might have you try a couple of each and see which one gives you the better stretch. And then if we take our right hand away, we're standing in bird dog. Firing the left glute, really activating that muscle, helping the hip flexor to relax. Keep the abs drawn up. Try not to arch your lower back. One more time, lift that leg up. And then as we lower it down, take a really big step back with your left foot and then push your heel down into the floor. Wow, really good calf stretch. So this first calf stretch we're going to do, I want that back leg to be pretty straight. That's going to stretch the higher portion of the calf, the gastrocnemius. It's also the more outer portion of the muscle. And then take a baby step forward with that back foot and bend both knees. And make sure your back foot is parallel so it's not turned out. Now you should be feeling that stretch lower in the soleus, lower part of the calf, more inner portion of the calf, and Achilles tendon. Great job. And then let's release and rise. I still want you to be in a split stance. We're going to lift up on the balls of both feet and come down. So we're almost in a tandem stance, elevating and raising on to the balls of the feet for balance. You can lightly hold on to a wall or chair. Here's 5. We'll just do one more for 6. And relax. Okay, let's switch the feet. So our left foot's in front. And I just want you to start to do our footwork of part the wild horse's mane. So we're coming forward, bending the knee, Then we're pulling back. Be close enough to your chair that you can start to do this, using the chair for a little bit of support, but taking this deeper into your hamstring. And please modify this if it's not working for you. It's a pretty deep hamstring stretch. So maybe you don't straighten your leg out all the way. That's okay. Maybe you don't pull your toes up because that's too much of a stretch. And then let's get one more and hold for our static position. Check your spinal alignment, your cervical alignment, tucking that chin in just a little bit, lengthening all sides of the neck. I almost want to get a little shake in my muscles, so I think I'm taking it just a little bit too deep. Okay, let's shift that weight forward again. Pick up the back foot, warrior 3, so we have squared hips. Try not to roll out this way. Lift the leg, squeeze the glute, partially relax it down. And then you can play with maybe trying that with a bent knee. I definitely get a little bit more stretch with the bent knee, but I don't feel like I can lift my leg up as high. But it's a pretty good trade-off. And then we can do this in bird dog, lifting the left arm up. Try not to let this come into your lower back. It's really easy to start to tilt the pelvis here, and then the lumbar spine does not like that. So really keep the spine neutral. Just lift the leg that comfortable height. Let's do 2 more. Dynamic stretch for the hip flexor. And then we'll step this foot way back with a straight leg. Drop that heel down. Ooh, that's a big stretch for me. And also, when I look into the screen there, it looks like my knee is bent a little bit, which it is, because with the arthritis I have in the right knee, I've lost my ability to completely straighten my leg out. So I'm just going to a comfortable straight for me. Try not to push beyond that. Okay, so that was the gastrocnemius. Let's hit the soleus. So take a baby step forward, bend both knees down. Wow, so that just sends that right back there into the Achilles tendon and that place where it meets the soleus muscle, which is called the aponeurosis. So that's where physiologically our tendon starts to combine, the tissues start to combine with the muscle fibers. And that can be a part of the entire complex that's a little weak. Because if you can imagine, you've got 2 different types of tissues and they're trying to connect and blend with each other. So sometimes if we have a rupture in our Achilles tendon or in our calf, that's where it's going to occur at that aponeurosis. So I'm going to be gentle here, not too forceful. Okay, let's come up. We're still in our split stance. We're going to elevate or releve up on the balls of the feet and down. 6 repetitions. Make sure you've got some separation between your feet so you're not standing 1 foot behind the other unless you really want a challenge. Couple more. Find a good drishti or focal point. Great job. Okay, let's turn all the way out to a wide leg stretch. Toes are turned out. We're going to do our starfish twist from our lymphatic warm-up. So we rotate across and reach down any amount and come back up. Back in the day, I used to call this the windmill. Good. So again, we've got another dynamic or active hamstring stretch. So make sure you're just coming as far as you feel comfortable. Great job. Now, same thing, but we're lunging. So we're bending the knee, bringing it across. So the focus of the stretch changes. It's no longer the hamstring. It's the other leg, inner thigh. So when you're going over to the left, I want you to feel the right inner thigh opening up and lengthening. If you need to put a chair in front of you and use that to support your body, that would be great. One more each side. Good. Now let's turn the right foot out, the left foot slightly in. Warrior two, moving into reverse warrior. Warrior two, reverse warrior. So where I want you to focus is tightening the back leg glute so that we're opening up the hip flexor. Exhale. 3. Exhale. 2. And let's hold that reverse warrior. This hand can come behind the back for a little bit of our back scratch or cow face stretch. Taking your gaze up, breathing. Gently tense up the left glute. Good. Open back out to warrior two. Straighten the right leg. Shift forward and down into a triangle just for a moment. And then pull back up and let your knee bend. So from warrior two, we straighten, triangle, come up, and bend. It's kind of a nice continual movement. Try not to hinge forward from the waist. Imagine there's a pane of glass both in front and behind your body. And then one more to hold our triangle pose. Feeling a stretch through the hamstring, through the inner thighs a bit, through the side body. Gaze can be wherever you feel comfortable. Squeezing the floor with both legs, almost like you're trying to drag the sides of the mat towards each other. Come back up to your warrior two. Relax the arms down. Switch your stance. Warrior two on the other side. And we'll go from warrior two to reverse warrior. And let's try the inhale when we're in reverse warrior. So take a big breath in. And then let it out as you come back to your warrior two. Tighten up through your right glute, that back leg glute. Feel the front of the hip opening through this dynamic flow of poses. Great job. Now a static stretch and a static pose. We'll hold. This is also isometric strengthening for your legs. You should feel that work. Quads and glutes. Inner and outer thighs, calves, everything's really working here. Great job. Let's come back up to your warrior two. Straighten the left leg. Shift into triangle. Then as you're coming back up, you're starting to bend the knee again to go back to your warrior two. Triangle. So each time you come up and bend the knee right here, we get a little small leg press as we're pushing away from the floor to come into that extension. That's activating the quad, which helps us relax the hamstring as we come into our triangle pose. So we tighten the quad, relax the hamstring. Good, one more time and we'll hold our triangle pose. Everything is stacked. Try not to rotate this forward. I know we can get lower if we do that, but everything is open here, sandwiching our body between two panes of glass. Pull your legs towards each other on the floor, tightening your inner thighs, your back leg glute. Keep your abs engaged. A couple more breaths. And rise back up, warrior two. Relax the arms. Bring the feet in and start to walk your feet together. Just come to mountain pose and just check in for a moment. What are you feeling in your body? If you can put words to it, just kind of go through that in your own head. The benefits of that series of poses. We've been working on lengthening our planks in different ways throughout classes the past couple weeks. So if you are a wall planker, I want you to get ready to go to the wall. If you're a chair planker, have your chair ready. If you want to come down to the floor. So on Tuesday, we did 2 rounds of 45 seconds. So today we'll do a 1-minute plank, a rest, followed by a 45-second plank. So do what you can in your position. Let's come on down. I'm going to get my little phone ready. So this is just dialing it up about another 15 seconds than what we did on Tuesday. Now you know all those options for planks, and even just a good all fours position is, as I say, a proper plank. Or you can walk the hands out, drop the hips. You've got a kneeling plank. Okay, so let's begin now. In your plank, our goal is to hold this first one for 60 seconds. And it's just a goal. So if you find you're running out of gas and you need a little brief recovery, take it and then just come back in when you're ready. We're going through this to gradually train our core to be able to handle longer and longer durations, which is known as muscular endurance. So we're over halfway to that minute. Try to find your ujjayi breath. That really does help you power through this. So kind of constrict the back of your throat a little bit. Hear that sound when you're breathing. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax and rest. So we have a 45-second plank to go. If you'd like to change it, you can. My wrists are talking to me a little bit, so I'm going to come down onto my elbows. Get ready and begin. 45 seconds. Or any amount of that. It's all positive. It's all beneficial. It's just a number to work on a goal. And that's fun to have goals, but don't beat yourself up over it if you don't make it to that today. We're going to be working on this for quite a while. Okay, we have 15 seconds to go, guys. Keep breathing. Find that ujjayi breath. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and relax. Okay, if you're over at the wall or at the chair, I want you to come down and lay on your front side prone. And we are going to stretch the hip flexors and tighten the glutes by going through a little bit more dynamic work. So just set your forehead down on your hands. And we're going to alternate a straight leg raise. So pick up the right leg, set it down, pick up the left leg. Now, if this bothers your lower back, and sometimes that's the case, I want you to pop back up to your hands and knees and do it from here. Pick up the right leg and pick up the left leg. So know what's best for your body. You're definitely going to have less range of motion from the prone position, but it does give you a really good hip flexor release, and it's great for strengthening the low back as well as the glute. And then either from hands and knees, if you're taking that option, or prone, we'll do contralateral raise, and it's like bird dog. So when the right leg comes up, the left arm lifts, and when the left leg comes up, the right arm lifts. So whatever pace you'd like to go, just about another 20 seconds. Good job, and 10. One more each side. And relax. Take a counter stretch. So I feel like I need either a child's pose or a cat stretch after I do those, because I feel a tightening in my low back. So just take any movements that feel good for you right here. And then we are going to go into some static stretches for the hamstring as well as the IT band. So come onto your back with your yoga strap. And I want to use my clock here so that I can time our stretches to make them equal on both sides. And we always start with the right leg first. So we're going to do that different today. Let's start with the left leg. So we'll bring the strap underneath the bottom of the foot and extend the leg up. And I want you to take this at a very gentle stretch. So not too intense. Bottom leg can slide out, and I love that for releasing the hip flexor here. So as we're holding this leg up, we're going to rotate the thigh bone in the hip socket, and it doesn't just come from your foot. I want it to come from all the way up into your hip socket. So roll your thigh outward and then roll your thigh inward. Roll it out, roll it in. So you should see your kneecap moving laterally and moving medially. Good. So a little bit of dynamic here while we're holding the static stretch of keeping the leg up. Okay, bring that leg back to the center. Now increase the intensity of the stretch just a little bit, maybe only 5%. And then see if you can flex and point your ankle. So we've got, again, a little bit of dynamic movement as we're holding that hamstring stretch. If your back's starting to bother you, bend this knee and set your foot on the floor, or lower your leg down a little bit more. Checking my timer here. Great job. All right, let's flex that ankle and hold. Let's get the IT band into the stretch by bringing the leg across the midline a little bit and then turn just the ankle inward, not your entire thigh, but just your ankle turns in. And we'll get the outside of the shin there, peroneus longus. We still feel the hamstring stretch. We should feel the IT band stretch, the tensor fascia lata, and we have 30 seconds left to hold this side. So this has given us an entire 3 minutes on this leg through our various positions. Take a couple more deep breaths, maybe the Ujjayi breath, 10 seconds to hold. Great. And then we'll release the strap. And I want you to come to Baddha Konasana. So the soles of the feet come together, open your knees, and just relax. Now it's likely that your legs don't feel the same because we did a lot of different stretching on that left leg. Just notice what you're feeling, relax into it. Allow your hip flexors to let go, your inner thighs. Now you should feel the difference in the sensations in your legs kind of dissipating now. So let's begin to switch to the right side. Taking that strap underneath the ball of the foot. And we're just going to go to a really easy edge, just very comfortable. Bottom leg can slide out. I almost want it to that point where you kind of think, am I stretching or am I not? I mean, I want you to feel it, but not very much, just very gentle. Almost like you would if you were in a restorative class. And then we're going to start to rotate that thigh out and in. And this is very different on this side. I've noticed that, no two hip replacements are alike. As this definitely feels less range of motion, but that's okay. Be at peace with where you are and accepting. Okay, come back to center. See if you can increase the intensity of the stretch, maybe 5%. And then flex and point. Flex, point. It's okay if there's some bend in this knee. The hamstring crosses two joints, the hip joint and the knee joint. So if your knee's bent, you still get some benefit in that hamstring stretch. Let's flex that ankle, hold it, and then holding on the opposite side of your strap, we'll pull this into the IT band by coming across the midline a little and then rotate your foot in. Just kind of sickle that ankle inward. Feel that stretch along the outside of the lower leg. Again, we're finding a gentle stretch, not too intense. So we're working on endurance of our flexibility, that ability to hold it for a time. Great job. We have 30 seconds left in this last stretch on this side. Then we're going to revisit our Baddha Konasana one more time. Just a couple more breaths. Great job. Let's relax that strap. Bring the soles of the feet together. Allow your knees to open. Just gently relax here. So try not to force the stretch. Just use gravity to help assist. Notice the different sensations from the right leg to the left. And notice that those sensations start to dissipate with each breath that you take. You start to return to a homeostasis. Let's close our knees together. Take your time to come up to a seated position, so you can roll over if you'd like, or just roll yourself up. And please have some cushioning if you need that, something to sit on. And we're just going to sit with the knees bent and the feet wide. So I'm almost sitting in what we call the happy baby position. If I was laying on my back, I would be bringing my feet wide, my knees wide, and then I would bring my feet toward me, or my legs toward me. I just want you to reach the hands through and then shift forward and then come back up and be gentle. It's likely you're going to feel this stretch in your lumbar spine. Oh, I just got a little back crack. Wow. I don't know if you heard that. It was probably loud enough for my microphone to pick it up. And one more time, reach it out. Just a little happy baby. And come up. Now sweep the right hand behind you and take your left hand maybe across the knee or on the inside, wherever you feel comfortable here. Sit really tall and look behind the right side of your body. Great. Come back to the center. We'll switch that twist. Left hand behind your body, lengthen your spine, rotate, working on the cervical, stretching through the neck. And then coming back to center, we'll do our windshield wipers, but sitting up right now. So I'm going to lean back on my hands a little bit and drop both knees over to one side and both knees to the other side. Just nice and easy. A little bit more active or dynamic stretch for the hip flexor and the tensor fascia lata. One more each side. And come back to center. We'll do our seated Baddha Konasana. So soles of the feet come together, bringing the heels in towards you any amount. Lengthen the spine tall. And then we'll do what we did with our happy baby, just a little shift forward and then come back. Now, when we did the happy baby, I really felt that in the low back. This one is definitely inner thighs. And the reason I'm doing it this way today is sometimes when we're here and we lean forward, we hunch. So today I really want you to have neutral spine. You're just coming forward a small amount. Your arms don't need to be up, but it helps our body to stay straighter. Let's do one more. And then we'll take one more twist on each direction. So hand comes behind the back, arm comes around, sit up tall. Now with this next stretch, let's look over the shoulder, but then drop your chin down a little. That's going to be a different neck stretch. Great. Let's reverse that. Rotate opposite direction. Lengthen the spine upward. Look behind you first as far as you can. And then drop your chin. I'm actually feeling that kind of right between my shoulder blades, almost like I do in eagle arms. Okay. Take just a few seconds to come onto your feet where we began our class today. And we started our class with Breath of Joyce, but I modified it into a forward fold. So that's what I'd like to finish our class with after we've stretched everything through the hamstrings, the calves, the hip flexors. So we'll breathe in as the arms come forward, out, and up. And then swan dive down into your forward fold. Roll your spine back up. And we'll repeat that twice more. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Swan dive down, forward fold. Just pause there for a moment. Lengthen everything. Roll up. One more time. And finish by restacking the spine all the way up. And let's place our palms at heart center as we pause today to celebrate our hard work, our dedication to the health of our spirit, mind, and body, dedication to our community, Minneapolis, St. Paul, dedication to the LisaBug community. And the light in my heart honors the light in the hearts of each of you. Namaste. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you can stay for a chit chat. If not, send me a note. Let me know how everything's feeling in your body today. I'm definitely feeling all stretched out, all kinds of stretched out. Okay, I'll be back to you in 2 shakes. Thanks, guys.